working on here is getting a nice good dorsiflexion and then landing with a midfoot strike with the ball of the feet right under the hips. Make sure that the athlete's got good posture, shoulders over hips, and elbows are driving back. Chin should be level, pace should be nice and easy. He's bouncing a little bit. Your athlete does not need to bounce when they're doing it. They can, but make sure that their mechanics are very good before they start bouncing or putting any kind of a skip to it whatsoever. She's got much less of a bounce, but she's still working on the dorsiflexion. Make sure the ball of your foot is landing under your hips. Good job. Okay, marching A's. Still want midfoot strike, landing under the hips. His foot's a little out in front of him. That's okay. It's kind of hard to do with a march. Elbows still driving back, still getting dorsiflexion. But the key here is his hips, or his heels are coming up to his hips, and his ankle is cycling over his knee. You can see that she does a very good job of getting her heels up to her butt and getting her ankles over her knee. Make sure you land on the ball of your feet. Ball of your feet, midfoot, not heel. Midfoot, not heel. Now we're doing marching B's. Go ahead. She still brings her heel up to her hips. Her heel still coming over her ankle's still coming over her knees. Driving her elbows back. The only difference with the B is that she's extending her foot out into the ground. What you want to make sure that your athletes are not doing is landing with their feet way out in front of them. He's doing a good job here of landing with his heels still under his hips with good posture. Still got a little bit of a dorsiflexion. Really want to work on midfoot strike. Sometimes with marching B's, it's difficult to get a midfoot strike because of the nature of the drill. Make sure you're driving your elbows back. Keep your hands up, 90 degrees. This is a form of ankling. I call it ankle skips. He's getting good dorsiflexion. He's got good midfoot strike. Driving his elbows back. Little stride. We're not worried about them having a really aggressive skip here. Nice and easy skip. Just working on getting toe up and then landing on midfoot. These are A skips. Go ahead. What I do with the kids when we do the A skips, instead of just bringing the knee and the heel straight up off the ground, we work on a cycle. He's doing a great job of bringing his heel up to his butt. Really want to keep that cyclical motion with every drill that we can. And that encourages the kids when they're running to have a cyclical motion, which is more efficient than one that has breaks and stops in it. Okay, we're about to do B skips. B skips very similar to A skips, but on the foot's way down to the ground, we extend it. Still working on getting the heels under the butt, having good posture, driving the elbows back. Don't lean back and don't lean forward. Go ahead. Very good job. You can see she's bringing the foot back under her hips as it comes down to the ground. This is good for sprinters. This is also good for distance runners. Good sprint mechanics are good distance mechanics. Don't stomp. Pull it under you, don't stomp. You should hear it sound more like brushing feet off on a rug rather than stomping. Their foot should be coming backwards when it hits the ground. On high skips, what we're working on is full extension under the body. Arms need to stay in a running mode, running mechanics. Arms need to be alternating and not together like a high jumper or a triple jumper. Whenever you're ready. Working on driving the knee, getting the heel up to the butt if you can. That's kind of tougher in this position. It puts them at a mechanical disadvantage to hold their form. This really works on extension, helps the explosiveness, it helps strengthen those sprint muscles. Okay, these are going to be high skips. We're working on full extension under the body, working on strengthening those sprint muscles, really working on the whole leg from the hips all the way down to the calf, extending through the ground. Whenever you're ready, trying to still hold the same mechanics, trying to get the heel up to the butt. It's very tough in this drill. Worried more about the elbows coming back than the hands coming up. The knee is going to come up as a product of the heel coming up to the butt, but really not worried about high knee, is worried about getting the foot up as high as we can get it. Extend your calf through the ground, push all the way through the ground. This is an ankling drill. I usually just call it ankles, just quicker. What we're working on here is getting dorsiflexion, but then midfoot strike. This is like the ankle skips, but it's taking it to the next step. Whenever you're ready, I just like this at a jogging cadence. I don't want them sprinting through it. Notice he's got good dorsiflexion, but then he's got a midfoot strike. He's leaning back a little bit. We want to make sure that they have good posture with their head over their shoulders and their shoulders over their hips, feet landing under the hips. Very good. These are called mini cycles. Basically a very small leg cycle. Just worried about getting the ankle over the opposite ankle. Foot's making little bitty circles, almost like the Roadrunner on the old Looney Tunes cartoons. Whenever you're ready. It looks like a jog, but the big thing is the foot is already headed backwards when it strikes the ground. We're working on efficiency and foot strike to the ground. This should be nice and easy. Eventually you can make this into a fast foot drill where they're really going as quick as they can. But early in the season, I like to keep this nice and slow. Make sure that they're making contact under their hips, and this helps build into more advanced drills later. This is fast feet. It's mini cycles sped up. Eventually they can go as fast as they want to. I kind of have them build into it. They don't just start off like they're out of the blocks. It's the same mechanics. Whenever you're ready, same mechanics, they just speed it up. Good posture, don't crunch up. I want to make sure they stay tall. Oftentimes when we do fast feet drills, because of other sports that they've been in, they decide that they need to scuff their feet and scrunch up and break down almost like they're closing out on a basketball player, breaking down to tackle somebody. And that's not what we're looking for. This is called a butt kick, single leg butt kick. We're just working on the right leg this time through. Just worried about snapping the heel up under the butt, pretty much right at the underwear line. Whenever you're ready. Very good. This is called tripling butt kick. Every third step, they're going to kick their butt. So we'll go right, 2, 3, left, 2, 3, right, 2, 3, left, 2, 3. Whenever you're ready, the posture stays the same, upright. And every third step, they're just kicking their butt. Every third step. One thing I've noticed watching world-class sprinters, world-class distance runners, is how all of them do a great job of bringing their heels very close to right under their hips. Some of them even making contact with their butt. So that's why this drill is important to me, to emulate that mechanic. These are double leg butt kicks. Whenever you're ready, same posture as before, making sure that we're making contact under the hips, not behind the hips. This is not the kind of butt kick that you see football teams and basketball teams and soccer teams doing to warm up. Really want the heel coming up under the butt and not behind the butt. Encouraging that can encourage overstriding. This is a single leg cycle. Working on getting the heel up to the butt, but then once it's up to the butt, stepping over the opposite knee. You might need to watch this one in slow motion to see the difference between this and butt kicks. Whenever you're ready, sir. Notice when the foot makes contact with the ground, it's already moving backwards. Working on efficiency, if the foot's moving backwards when it makes contact with the ground, then the foot doesn't have to regenerate all of its energy. It's already coming backwards. It's almost like the kid's skateboarding and maintaining the momentum that they have already generated. Tripling leg cycles, tripling leg cycles. What we're working on here, same thing. But every third step, he's gonna cycle his leg up to his butt and over his knee. Whenever you're ready. We're not worried about speed right now. But breaking it down one leg at a time really makes them do the right thing with both legs. It isolates both movements so that they can actually fix the problems that they have maybe on one side that they don't have on the other. Really like breaking it down individually. We can work on mechanics you can't do when you're doing both legs at the same time. These are double leg cycles. This is both legs. Every step you're going. Go ahead. We're working on heels up to the butt and then cycling over the knee. Foot's moving backwards when it hits the ground. Foot has to be moving backwards when it hits the ground or we do it again. Don't want them leaning back, want them standing straight up. It looks a lot like butt kicks, but if you look at it in slow motion, you should see that their heels are coming over their knees and their foot's moving backwards when it hits the ground. Actually, okay, this is gonna be a regular bound. What he's working on is getting the heel up to the butt, but he's really trying to push from one step to the other, working on the extension phase of the leg cycle. Not only is he trying to extend from the hips and the knee, he's also trying to make sure that he's extending his calf all the way and extending from the ankle. Whenever you're ready, sir. Good extension, good posture. It's very plyometric, and you got to be careful with not doing too much, but it can really work on their mechanics and really work on their power and their sprint phase of their 5K. Okay, he's gonna do bounce for height. Same thing, but each step he's trying to get as high as he can. It really makes him work on extension. It's very tough plyometric workout. I wouldn't have him bound too far and I wouldn't have him do too many sets in a day, especially before a workout. Whenever you're ready, sir. Very good. She's gonna do straight leg bounds. What she's working on and what the straight leg bounds work on is bending from the hip flexors, and it puts the hip flexors at a mechanical disadvantage. So she really has to use them. But then also extending and using the glutes at contact with the ground. She's trying to make sure she gets her heels and her feet under her hips. It's kind of tough. This drill really works on it. Whenever you're ready. Good. These are ankling with the tripling leg cycle. It looks very, very intricate and very advanced, but it actually, when the kids do this, they tend to do a better leg cycle, I think because they have to focus so much on the drill itself. Whenever you're ready, sir. Every third step, he's doing an ankling, and every third step, he cycles his leg over his knee. Very good. This is a lot like ankles with a tripling leg cycle. This is ankles with a tripling B. So instead of the foot just coming over the knee and back down to the ground, she's going to extend it out before it comes down under her hips. When you're ready, 1, 2, 3, every third step, she has a B cycle that comes through. Very good. One thing you can do with drills is have a sprint into the drill. This is what she's gonna do. She's gonna do straight leg bounds, is that right? Just to give you an idea, but you can do this with almost any drill. When you're ready, the ticket here is to be moving fast when you start the drill. So it makes them really focus on the drill. They've also got momentum, so they're not having to generate their momentum on their drill, which for bounds and straight leg bounds can actually make it a little easier on the kids. He is going to start with a straight leg bound and then sprint out of the bound. If there's something in particular you're working with mechanic-wise that you want to see translate into their running, start with the drill and then have them go into the run, and oftentimes they'll hold that mechanic through their run. When you're ready, and sprint out. Very good. This is static dorsiflexion. All he's working on doing is picking his toe up off the ground and then making contact on the ball of his foot. Start with your right foot, sir. So right foot up, right foot down. Keep going. Static dorsiflexion. That's all he's worried about, is getting the toe up and then pulling it back under his hips.